session. Welcome back. So, we just had PMI news bring in this bearish candle. Drake's dick basically showed up out of nowhere, jump scare. Price came down. We saw it basically fall straight through here. Again, another example of some kind of news event. I think this was Tuesday. What is that, the 12th? Yeah. So Tuesday we had this news event. Brought price. When was that? Not 8:30. Yeah, so 8:30 news event came, shot through two accumulation areas. So this isn't standard textbook practice right here. The news was extremely bearish today. We had high inflation data. Pretty much everything saw a dip. Crypto especially. Crypto is super reliant on inflation data is pretty much like one of the worst things for crypto, because that means that rate cuts are less likely to happen, and that's exactly what was happening. Crypto was pricing in a rate cut. I bought some Ethereum at 445. Somehow I got filled. I don't even know. Maybe Coinbase has a different price chart. But market's gonna open pretty soon. We have basically 1 minute. My plan for today is to basically look at this, because this was pretty bullish. We came in, perfectly tested this area, and pretty much it's not terrible. It's definitely not the best news for this, because this definitely is super bearish news, but I mean overall the volatility's already over for that news event. I'm overall more so leaning towards a bullish open. Although most of the time whenever we open market within some kind of resistance, that resistance always plays out tenfold. But if that resistance gets accepted, that means that we're probably going to revisit this area up here. So I'm just looking to see some bullish confirmation on this candle right here. Probably like a good closure above here, followed by more bullish volume, and then we could probably enter, put our stop down here, take profit up here, is what I'm looking for. Yeah, but we're in resistance, right? Like, this is like probably the most indicative thing that you could ever look for is how is the order flow on market open, because this basically reveals the whole sentiment for that market session, right? Is the market gonna hold that resistance, or is it going to reject it? And I mean, right now it's looking like we're rejecting it. So it looks like the market isn't ready to shoot past and revisit here. Because if we take a look here, right, we have no volume from this area up, and this was a bullish accumulation or a bearish accumulation, one or the either. We don't know. So either way, whenever price responds to this, it's gonna have a big reaction most likely. Let's see. Volume is building up. We're getting some good buyers, aggressive buying at this area. This looks like we're gonna get this candle closure, but it's not enough for me. like to... Man, I wish I could... Yeah, so... I want to see at least 2 candles. But so far it's looking like we're just going to put in higher lows from here on. Right now, at least. It's not like the best. If we can get a revisit on this area, I think I'm gonna have to enter. I mean, listen, the news is super bearish, but we just overwhelmed the sellers in this area. I think I'm gonna enter one contract. Oh, that's not. May have just missed our opportunity there, or saved ourselves. No, I'm not liking this still. 2 visits of this area, almost 3. Let me check ES, see what ES is up to. Alright, ES has this resistance as well, so we actually... I need to see ES pass through this resistance along with NASDAQ in order for the right confirmation. Because overall for ES, there's really not much that I can say other than it's more bullish than NASDAQ. So maybe not for this market open. Honestly, it could be. Considering the fact, yeah, okay, so I think I'm gonna, actually, I will enter on ES on this candle close right here. Maybe we can get a little bit of a pullback.
Order filled.
Yeah, we're gonna enter here one contract. We're gonna put our take profit right around here. Stop loss. I'm honestly thinking we can maybe put our take profit up here for ES. We just passed through that resistance that we were talking about. We also have bullish buyers that were in here. So let's get NQ. This could be bad, honestly. If NASDAQ comes into here and rejects this area, which it might, things might get a little bit hectic on ES's side. So, I mean, I wouldn't like to put my take profit or my stop loss at break even, but I might, just in case, once price comes back up to here. Yeah. But we just need to wait and see if that will happen. Overall, this market open is pretty bullish so far. And we can also take another setup today if we actually just pass through here. I have the resistances lined up on NASDAQ, but it's pretty likely that if we pass through that, we're going to see all-time highs. But we have to keep in mind that this area was extremely highly defended on NASDAQ's end. I wouldn't see a reason as to why market would go down right now, considering the bullish order flow, considering absolutely no resistance apart from, I mean, if we hop on NQ, we have, I wonder if it will load. Yeah, so we have resistance here. Not resistance, like it's not clear resistance, but like we have a middle point of volume. So if we're going to react to anything, it's going to be at that point, likely. Not definitely, but it's somewhat likely. Yeah, I still don't see any point as to why market would just stop and dry up right here. I would not expect that. So I'm not worried at all. Could come down to visit this area. This of course was our middle point of volume here. Price came up, came down, tested this area. Bullish, aggressive buyers showed themselves to be at this level. So for ES, I think that it's possible it could come in and test this level. Could have entered another contract at that level, in my opinion. I think now is probably a good time to go break even. Let's hop onto here. Price is gonna have some kind of reaction, but I'm not looking to go break even at that level. I want to see price move all the way up to here, and then I'll go at break even. I mean, it's likely going to be a rejection, in my opinion, it's very likely, but pretty close to moving this to break even. We're approaching this level, testing it. I'm not expecting like a huge reaction, but I just put it there just in case. Let's get on NASDAQ on this platform. Alright, so I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. I think the big deal is here, of course. Probably gonna be moving this right about now. Just because this was a consolidation area and we already moved away from it. Hold on. Let's wait 1 second. See what NASDAQ wants to do, because we did just enter that middle point. For that, we entered the POC. Alright, if we can see like one bullish candle, and if we get a good reaction, then like if we just pass through here, I'm glad to move my stop loss back to where it was. Let's see. I want to put it there like the second that it hits this area on NASDAQ. It's technically an order block, yeah, but it's just where all the orders were for here. And also like right above it there's resistance, etc, etc. I need to get like another chart up. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, right here we have resistance, and right here, because we hit this resistance with the news, and that's what caused basically a huge sell-off, which was pretty much due. We kind of needed that pullback because that was just a great placement on that news event. It was placed so well to cause such a dramatic drop-off. I think we're good to put a stop at break even. That's what I'm about to do. And we'll just see how this plays out. If I get stopped out for break even, absolutely no risk. So I'm just risking $0 to make $88 a fair amount of the time. So now we can just sit back and relax. And also, if NASDAQ comes up to here, test this level, shows absolutely no stopping, we can probably move our take profit a little bit higher, in my opinion. All we need, yeah, so we're testing this level right now. It's likely we're going to see a good amount of sell-off from here. Market's just eating up these orders. We saw absorption here. There's a high amount of bearish volume. Buyers bought that up. We'll see if market wants to accept this area. It looks like it might not. I think it needs like maybe 1 or 2 more candles. Okay, so we're accepting it, I think. But really the point in which we need to be worried about is here. Hopefully we can see whether or not price wants to reject this area pretty soon. Because if we accept this area, we have a ways to go. We have like all the way maybe up to here that we can go for this market open. I mean, there's a lot of volatility, so there's definitely room for it to do that. Could even enter on, what's it called? Could even enter on NASDAQ after we pass through this resistance right here. But so far it looks like our take profit's probably going to be getting hit. Not expecting a huge sell-off, like, okay, maybe I was wrong. It looks like a lot of orders just got filled. A lot of bearish volume coming in. Continuation, unlikely in this scenario, unless like we see a full rejection back into some kind of previous volume area. Maybe like we'll have to see another aggressive buyer, like maybe in this region right here, to save this. But if anything, like, I'm wrong, I get stopped out for maybe like $4, right? Because we might just blast through, but it's probably better to just put my stop loss like maybe down here past this, area, but I'm just gonna leave it here because we just hit this huge resistance. It's likely that we have a huge reaction, maybe even a trend shift. So regardless, I'm okay with getting stopped out here. If not, then we maybe I'm saved. Maybe I'm safe. Who knows? Who the hell knows? There's aggressive buyers in this area, for sure. I mean, I'm just hoping that they can break this out. I don't want to speak too soon, but holy clutch. If these buyers can really clutch up, then I would be so happy. Holy crap, we were like, oh my god, we were like 0.75 points away from getting stopped out. Holy shit. That was so close. That was so close. Alright, either continuation here into lower areas. Seems like volume's clustered here. Yeah, either acceptance of this area or rejection, and I most definitely will get stopped out if that rejects. Yeah, so we'll just have to see. I think it's pretty likely that I get stopped out. It's like maybe a 50-50 chance, give or take. I am playing relatively safe right now. Kind of, I mean, I was thinking that, like, if anything was going to happen, if any trend shift or any rejection into lower areas, it was probably going to be around, this area to here. Somewhere in the middle, I guess it makes sense. It's kind of tragic, because if I entered on Nasdaq, I would have already had my take profit get hit. I would have probably had, yeah, I would have taken the profit off for sure. It's looking like it's just needed a pullback into this area. That's what it's looking like. So we should be good. If we hit, this would be a sign. If we come all the way back up to here and move past that level, it would definitely be a sign to hold my position for a little bit longer. If anything, possibly. No, I still think that this is a good area. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna hold my position. If anything, I would open up a position on Nasdaq if that happens after ES tests this level and gets all of its whatever it needs to do out of the way. That's what I would do personally. Definitely could just throw the risk, or yeah, could use the risk from this profit right here for the Nasdaq trade. Listen, I don't think that taking 2 trades in a day is a bad idea. It's only a bad idea if you're doing it for the wrong reason, you know? Like, in the end, if you have a good setup, it doesn't matter if you're down on the day. If it's a really good setup and you have high confidence, then take it. Like, regardless, if you lose, like, you're still following your strategy. The day, like, it doesn't matter how much you're down. If you see a trade that has a higher than 50% chance of hitting, then take it. You're missing out. You know, you got to play in the long term, not in the short term. Just because you're down on the week, just because you're down on the day, doesn't mean that you can't take a profitable setup. There's no reason not to. There's absolutely no reason not to. I think on this setup I could have sized up. Maybe could have risked like, yeah, maybe like 160. Because I still need, we're only 1/30th of the way there if we hit this. We'll be a little bit higher than that, but yeah, we still need to get to 3,000 profit. We're definitely not going to get there by risking $80 for $80 profit. Looks like market is just struggling to hold this level. another sell-off. It's probably going to be at this level. But if we accept this area, I mean, we accepted this area on ES. NASDAQ just had a pretty big sell-off causing this. So overall, ES is very bullish right now. We should accept this area more often than not. NASDAQ, hopefully it's not, yeah, the volume was here, and we already passed through that, so right now there's not much to be bearish on. Yeah, I mean, I have no bearish thoughts. Like, in the end, we should be bullish, but since my stop loss is so tight, it's definitely likely that, you know, I get stopped out for break even, if anything. If anything, that's, you know, what's going to happen. So far, the trade's looking pretty good. NASDAQ is slowing down a little bit. ES is just catching up. Again, I'm more bullish on ES overall. On the daily time frame, maybe not on the shorter time frame. NASDAQ's definitely outperforming on this session so far. But, I mean, right now there's really not much to think about other than bullish trades. No reason to be short in this kind of market, right? So I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about this one. I'm feeling really good about this one. It's a little bit slow. We do have a wide range right here, so could also be here. Like, it would make sense. I mean, can I get a lower time frame? Yeah. I would like to see. These are just wicks. $952.75. $952.75. And then how did market respond to that exact level? No. Lower low. It looks like the buyers are within this region though. This is taking forever. All right. Well, we could move our stop here. Well, let's make it 90. Just stretch out the the extra $2 fucking. Um, but if we can see Nasdaq overcome this level right here, um, I would happily take an extra wide range on my take profit. lock in real quick. I was just scrolling the reels, and now we gotta lock in. Yeah, gonna see some selling coming here. Hopefully we can pass through this area, and then honestly, I don't really see us moving our stop higher, or our take profit higher. I think, yeah, I mean, we should be good. If anything, hold on. Actually, we do need that. Alright, well, I think we're just gonna let it get hit. That's probably the right move. Honestly, maybe even move it higher. I think we will. Because NASDAQ just broke through that, which means that it's likely to continue into this upper resistance. ES. We could honestly move our stop like all the way to here. It's definitely possible. Maybe here. Okay, yeah, definitely like right 1 point below that, yeah. Alright. Alright, I'm happy with that. Happy with that. NASDAQ, gonna probably continue. Could enter a trade on NASDAQ. Although I think one trade for now. I mean, how's the volume looking for this? We have volume here, so yeah, I mean, if it was like a dead zone right here and then high volume up here, we would definitely be entering on this resistance breaking. But right now, I think we're just good with what we have. And I think I'm comfortable with just leaving this. this has just gone on long enough. I'm just gonna end the video here. Yeah, that's about it.